So let's talk about a carbine, right? So first, when you pick up a carbine, you need to customize that carbine to you. You know, you always hear, hey man, the weapon's just an extension of your hands, the weapon's just an extension of who you are. Well, you need to measure up that fucking carbine so it feels right in the balance feels right. The buttstock length is just perfect on your structure of your body, because some guys are bigger, some guys are smaller, some guys have wearing body armor. So you have to adjust your weapon buttstock, right, accordingly. The buttstock is very important. When I first came to the teams, you know, we were issued like the first soft mod kit. So up into then it was all like carrying handle M4s, right? So when I first came in, they finally made the very first modder system, and I'm like, holy shit, that's like badass, right? And they gave me like this short M4, and I had the buttstock. So I used to run around with my buttstock compressed like this because I thought it was the coolest shit. I didn't realize that that if I would have just extended the buttstock, maximized my cheek well, right, the placement on a cheek well, then you're going to have more accurate shots. Okay, so a great way to measure a buttstock to who you are as an individual is there's a bend in your arm. So usually what I do is I take the bend in my arm and I put the weapon to it goes to the bend in my arm. Understand? What I'm trying to achieve here is utilizing the L, the structured L in my arm, because if I don't have the proper length, look how heavy the weapon is forward. Okay? But if I have the proper length, I utilize the L in my arm to support the weight when I need to go into a prone position, or I need to go into some kind of rapid movement, right? I want to utilize the structure of my body, okay, to handle the weapon. Make sense? All right. So usually, if you are rolling around in a fucking patrol car, or you're rolling around some kind of vehicle and a carbine is one of your weapons, you need a stowaway to fucking sling, okay? So usually what I do is I take retainer bands and I put it in my buttstock so I can tow my slings. The reason why I'm telling you this, because I lost teammates that try to bail out of vehicles with their sling and they got caught up in portions of the vehicle. Understand that. You need to stream down your body, your equipment as much as possible, especially if you're working around vehicles. Every police officer I know rides around patrol cars. You need to be able to off-ramp that vehicle very fast, okay? Your carbine sling needs to be stowed if it's in the vehicle. Make sense? Once you break contact and get out of the vehicle, you can always unstow the sling. All right, why do I this grip forward? Okay, because if you're rowing fucking night vision, or you're rowing with some kind of tack light and all, it gets very heavy on the front of the gun. All right, so on the teams, we row with night vision. Okay, so if you row with night vision, you're gonna have some kind of laser pointer, IR laser pointer on your weapon, so it could make that weapon off balance. I like to put a forward handle on my gun because it allows me to still work on my toggles. It allows me to pull the gun back into my shoulder pocket, right? I'm not doing this. I'm running the gun like this, so I have a control of a C-clamp control over my gun, and it allows me to pull my gun back in the shoulder pocket. If let's say it needs to smash a window on my vehicle, right? Then sometimes I'll smash a vehicle utilizing this, okay? And I'll come back around. All right, so we utilize our weapons, the spearhead faces, the smash windows, all right? So you need to have your weapon system where you can use it in with economy of motion, all right? Also, you think about when you transition. If I'm here and I have something to hold, I can transition, right? It gives me something to hold on to. If I shoot barriers, right, and if I have a forward grip and I shoot barriers, it allows me stuff to hold on to, right? It allows me to really control the weapon. That's really big, guys, especially in confined space shooting. You want something that gives you that forward control. Otherwise, I'll be fucking moving the whole gun. Back when I first joined the military, we were doing this shit. We know this shit. okay? So we're doing this shit and we thought it was fucking bad. That's so fucking badass because you can wedge in your body armor. Well, we quickly found out that's the dumbest shit, right, in a real war because I'm overexposing my muzzle line. So now if I have an index, if I have a target here and a target here, I have to bring it up and it takes longer to drive the gun because I have what? Barrel weight, okay? So I want to minimize the barrel weight. I just want to use I want to just move the tip of my gun. So that's why I put the forward grip on. So it allows me just to move just this portion. It allows me what? Faster on the gun on the drive, okay? So if a requirement, if you look at your life and you're like, hey, yeah, there's times where I'm going to have to make entry into a house, you know? There's going to be times where I'm a SWAT guy, I'm going to have to serve high threat warrants and I run with ARs. Well, you need to configure AR so you can move that fucking thing in a house. Understand? In confined spaces. All right. Any questions on why we run what we run? All right, so let's just say you don't have a forward grip. Another great grip is the C-clamp grip. We know what the C-clamp grip is? C-clamp grip. The C-clamp grip forward, all right? The C-clamp grip forward, it works the same. It allows you to move just the tip of the barrel. If you guys are going into a compressed position, you're going to be slowing that gun. In confined spaces, it's not good. That's not a good technique, all right? We did away with that. As soon as 9/11 hit, we realized that shit don't work, okay? It's great to revisit the fundamentals. Also, your level of training. Who trained you? And what was his purpose on how he carried and managed his gun? Was it information trickled down over years and nobody know what the fuck? You have to understand the why, right? Because if you don't understand the why, then why fucking carry a gun? If you don't understand the data on your weapon, then you'll never understand the holds. If you don't understand where to put shit, then you'll never manipulate that weapon for you. Understand this. All right, so let's talk about sling. So I went through every fucking sling there is to go through. When I first joined, we were running MP5s, right, in close quarters environment. So we went through you know what the 3-point sling is? Everybody? Okay, it's 3-point sling. It's free floating just like a what? 1 point, right? So it racks you in the balls. So if you fucking eagle down, you're trying to extract them off target, you're gonna get racked in the balls. If you're trying to climb up fucking ladders and stuff, that's not a good sling. Same thing with a single point sling. Single point sling is great, man. It's great on the flat range because it allows you to maneuver that weapon just like you don't have a sling. But if you have an officer down, you're trying to extract them off the X, you're gonna get racked, all right? If you're trying to climb fucking, I don't know, over fence lines, think about it, man. In the process of picking slings, I realized that I like the 2-point sling, okay? The 2-point sling allowed me, obviously this is an old sling, it has sentimental value, that's why I still run it. There's better designs out there than the VTAC right now. But the VTAC was the very first sling that kind of had the simplicity I liked in a sling. So Kyle Lamb, he designed the VTAC sling and it allows you the ability to tighten down. So if I need to climb, it tightens down around me. If I need to extract the down ego, everything's tight on me, understand? It'll never flop around. Let's just say I enter a building and I want the rifle to free float, because if I have my rifle here, it's hard for me to transition to weak side. So when I enter in a confined space, if let's say I off ramp and I'm moving and I'm seeing a doorway, I'll start moving my weapon into just over the neck. And this allows me the ability of a single point sling. See, because I could push, I could transition, I could move, and if I need to climb, then I'll climb, cinch you down. Understand? So your sling, man, is just as important as a holster when it comes to a rifle, right? You want to be able, for long distance shots, you know, on a standing, sometimes I'll sling my weapon like this and I'll cinch it down and watch my elbows. That gun's locked, right? So you want to utilize your sling, man, right, as like a holster, right? So your sling's going to set you up for how you're going to present your weapon. Make sense? We understand presenting a weapon, or mounting a weapon. Okay. Any questions on slings? What are we running? 1 point. Yeah. Okay. So hey, look guys, look, check it out. We were issuing the military certain slings. If I disagree with it, I'll go buy my own sling. All right. So the thing is this: if I'm showing you how to use a sling today, and you agree with the methodology of that sling, I advise you to go get the sling, because this, what you carry in your hands, will win a firefight. It will change the outcome of the fucking gunfight. You pull out, he pulls out a pistol, you pull out AR, and you're shooting him precision shots at 200 meters, he can't even reach you, understand? Okay. All right, this is a game changer for you guys. Carbine. The thing is, you have to build that data, man, right? So we have to collect data on the gun at every range. So like Brandon was saying, you know, when he was in Afghanistan, he would set out targets at every range. We need to identify how ballistics will work at every range. So if I put you on the 25-meter line and you're shooting, if I collapse you into a 5-meter line, do you think the offsets are changed? Yeah? Then you need to know your offsets. Eyes and ears, meet me downrange.